Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 222222 day, I think. But today we're going to talk about the Central Ohio Housing Report for January. A lot of things have happened over 2021. Record-breaking things have happened in 2021. So let's talk about the first month of 2022. So the days of the twos, which is pretty crazy. But we had a record-breaking year last year. However, January was pretty slow, as a lot of you house hunters and buyers out there are probably feeling. We've had a lot of homes that we have listed that have got a large number of offers, and buyers especially have had a hard time winning offers. We're having things that are going over 20, 30,000 over list price, cash. But the real reason is it's for the simple fact is we still have a strong demand of buyers, but inventory's really low in January. Now, February of last year, if you remember, we had record lows inventory, record. However, as the spring turned into summer, we had really strong sales, the best we've seen in 15 years. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So following a record-breaking year, January housing activity fell flat. Now, when I say flat, it's only like 0.5% down from last year. So nothing overly crazy. But that's January. I mean, we had some bad storms and people just aren't super excited to go house hunting, which I think more people are house hunting than I anticipated. But not only that, just listing houses. It's just hard work to list a house, especially when it's cold. So the average home price in Central Ohio from last year at this time, so January of 2021 to January of 2022, we saw a 10.4% increase. So if you owned a house that was worth $100,000, now it's worth $110,000 if you bought it in January of 2021. So that's great news. Probably a lot better than some 401ks out there. So with that being said, I want to show you something. This is from the Central Ohio Housing Report from the Columbus Board of Realtors. And we talk about all the time about how Columbus is exploding. And I want to show you this. It's it's got a breakdown of the counties in Central Ohio by county and just the growth that we've had over the last 10 years. So in whole, like if you take the whole Central Ohio, all the counties surrounding, we've had about a 13% increase over the last 10 years. Now, the funny thing is we've seen 20% increases in some counties like Delaware, where I live. And then we've seen actually negative growth, such as in Marion. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. So let's take a look at this. So, okay, here we go. So on the left is the county. So Delaware, Fayette, Franklin, Licking, Madison. You have 2020. That's the population as a 2020 census. 2010 is what the population was in 2010. And then the growth is on the right. So if you see Delaware, I live in Delaware County, exploding up here. We've had a 22% increase over the last 10 years. But look at Fayette, pretty rural part of Central Ohio. They've actually had pretty flat, actually negative, just a smidge. Franklin, which is your 270, if you want to think of it that way, like everything around 270 in Franklin County, we're up 13%. And I think a lot of people could see that for sure. Licking County, they're at 7%. Madison, that's heading out west of Columbus, that pretty flat, not even 1% growth. Marion, actually negative. Marion, Ohio, that's a couple counties north of Franklin. Morrow, pretty flat. Pickway, which is south of Columbus. That's at 5%. Look at Union. Union's number 2. So Delaware, which is immediately north of Columbus, and then the next county over to your left, going west, is Union. And that would fall into like Dublin, Plain City. That area is exploding. Huge developments. And Dublin City Schools, Jonathan Alder, schools, maybe that's probably most of the schools there, I guess, off the top of my head. So if you see Central Ohio, what we kind of call Central Ohio, the central, Columbus and the little surrounding counties, we're almost at 2 million people as of 2020. And I bet you that's probably already past 2 million over the last year. We're growing big time. I think we all know that. So that's some of the highlights. So we have almost 2 million people in Central Ohio. If anyone ever asks, with some of the things like Intel moving in, and that I could see us being at 2.5 million over the next 5 to 7 years. Just a huge explosion of population and opportunity for all those Central Ohio homeowners. So let's talk about something else that's kind of interesting. Is I'm going to show you this other graph here. But in 2021, if you took 100 listings, 91% of every listing that was listed sold. Now that seems kind of normal, okay? Like for a lot of people, they'd say, well, yeah, I mean, most people when they put their houses up sold. But I want to show you that this is another graph I want to show you. This is just showing us over the last 10 years, okay? I'll slow this down. So the years are on the left, homes sold is in the middle, new listings in the middle. Don't worry about that too much. But what I want you to look at is the far right hand column, which is percent of new listings sold. Okay. Now, yes, it seems like every house that gets put on market, every time you see a realtor stick the sign in the yard, that it sells pretty quickly, right? But that wasn't always the case. I mean, having my license when we had the fallout 10, 12 years ago, a lot of times you couldn't even give a house away. So let's take a look at the data. So 2021, 91% of all houses sold. 2020 was 92. During COVID, 92% of every home, almost 93 sold. 93% of the homes sold. 2019, 85. But look at the numbers, how they declined. 79, 74, 72. 2012, we were coming out of the housing market crash, and we were at 65.9%. So it's pretty remarkable that, that homes, I mean, if you're looking to sell a home, and a lot of people, and I talk to agents about this all the time, you have clients who are like, I'll wait till spring. Now is a really good time to sell. For the simple fact is there's just not a lot of inventory. There's not a lot of competition. Come spring, you're going to have a lot more people listing their homes. So you might have 2 or 3 homes in your neighborhood that buyers are fighting over. Right now, you might be the only girl at the dance, so to speak. So I hope this information helps. Make sure you like and subscribe below if you have any questions, comments about the housing market. And if you're thinking about getting in the real estate market, let me know. This is Adam Ashba, Hondros instructor of real estate college and president and broker of Ashmont Realty. And thanks for joining this Tuesday's edition of the 222222 of Ashmont Realty Live. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you guys all next time.